Hey, it's Raven Tactical. Gonna have a second video out today. Today's April 3rd. Just kind of giving it like a situational deal, I suppose. I know we put something out earlier this week. Some concepts to think about, though. Right now, it is difficult to get bulk food, so it is difficult to get it. So if you can find it, cool, grab it. I would still grab it. Stores have lines and limits, so obviously you'll have to work around that. I would strongly suggest getting things within the next 2 weeks, because the next 2 weeks are going to be, at least if you're in the Midwest, are going to be probably the last couple weeks before the Midwest gets completely trashed. So you probably will be sheltering hardcore in place fairly shortly. And that's just an opinion. But you're going to see things change too, and we've talked about that before. I don't know exactly how things are going to change. You're already starting to see people panic. There's a guy that basically tried to ram a train into the ocean to hit one of the hospital ships and completely failed. And if you know anything about trains and how that works, trains and the government have some bizarre laws, and there's some bizarre rules with them. And it's kind of interesting. So the guy might end up with like a 40-year prison sentence. And so there's just weird stuff going on. There's things with FEMA being activated. There's things with people basically being deputized for, in certain areas where lockdown is in place, they're going around and using your GPS from your phone. They're using GPS from, like satellites and stuff to see where people are congregating and all this, and going, oh, well, you know what? You're still going to the park with 20 other people. Here's your fine. Some people are getting arrested. There's a pastor that got arrested because he still tried to run his church. How do I respond to things like this? You're going to see tyrannical rule and control. But at the same time, you do need to be somewhat smart about this. Where a virus and pandemic is coming, you should respect it enough that you should want to at least distance yourself. You should try to at least ride this out and not ignore it. Because if you try to do this, the heavy hand is going to come down. And they're holding back in some cases, in other cases they're not. But that heavy hand is going to come. And it's not your fault, because I don't think that heavy hand should ever existed. But it's going to come down. And whether or not they remove that heavy hand of government and control is kind of the weird thing of what you're going to see. If anything from 9/11 shows that, they'll never remove that heavy hand. It will always be there, because from 9/11 on, you've never seen anything but that heavy hand of control, of watching you, of making sure that everything is tracked and everything you do is there. They're implementing things like what China has over there from mass video surveillance, and that we already have the information surveillance. So, I mean, realistically, we're losing rights left and right. Now, how do I think this works in a broader picture? I think this is going to be something where you're going to see a collapse of the economy. The unemployment rates are spiking. I'm sorry to say that even after, if this continues on for June, July, you're going to see a collapse of the complete economic market. Well, they've already printed money again. So, I mean, realistically, how much more can you basically raise the debt? The stimulus package that they're putting out there is basically sad, because it's just your money given back to you, like a small fraction. Well, okay. They're going to have to probably put on another one, because the unemployment rate's going through the roof. And there's a lot of people who either got reduced hours so they can't collect unemployment. I mean, you're going to have people who, in the service industries and all these like smaller industries, where I don't blame you for not having the Dave Ramsey 6-month plan. I mean, I don't have a 6-month plan. Why? Because in one aspect of it, I put things into hard things. Like, I put my money into food. I put my money into having some ammunition and, a farm, into animals, into feed, into structures, versus having a big bank account that digitally, if it goes down, you're done. You can't even access it. I mean, so I don't have like 6 months of currency sitting in my little bank going, well, I can do nothing for 6 months and pay it all off. But you know what? I don't have any food because Dave doesn't talk about how to prepare for longer terms of food and how to like make sure that you have some guns and ammunition because Dave Ramsey's whole basis is on a bull economy. You know, you just keep throwing into that 401k and having that thing. And I like the guy. I think he's got some good points, but he also disturbs me with some of his points of, you know, you should do this and not this. And one of the things it is, I think Dave Ramsey looks at prepping like hoarding. So, you know, and it can get overboard, you know. But at the same point right now, you're seeing people who haven't considered it, who are now dropping the ball and going for it. And in one aspect of it, if you're the Dave Ramsey type, you at least have some money to go out and purchase these things. So in that aspect, I do think, you know, having that safety net of money, well, there comes a point where you're going to have to cross that line of looking at it like, the line's been crossed. I don't think we're going to go back. Do I turn my money and currency into something tangible, hard, something that I can touch? Do I go out and buy firearms today? Do I go out and stock up more food? Do I go out and buy, you know, a wheat grinder? Do I go out and buy a Berkey system? Things that I can touch and use every single day. Yeah, the day comes for that, and that's good. But to say that somebody who's waitressing or bar staff or whatever, working a couple jobs, you know, it's tough, and they're going to be a burden on the economy, and some of them already are. And if retail stores start cutting back because, you know, more and more people get coronavirus, yeah, they're going to shut down. The hours are already reduced for most stores that are considered essential. So as the employment rate spikes and you're forcing out an unemployment, and companies, especially small ones at first, start going bankrupt. I mean, I don't know how our local bar / restaurant, which is awesome, can sustain for a very long time without having, you know, the normal Monday through Friday and then the weekend customers. It's rough. I mean, you have to seriously cut back quite a bit. Just something, food for thought, I guess. Be prepared for the economy to completely drop. I do not see the economy swinging back just because, you know, we've managed to, you know, curb it in August. No, sorry. This is a severe, damaging blow, and there's always been talk about a correction in the market. Well, this is it. So I don't expect you to see anything else. Anyways, do what you can. Pray for this country. Pray for your family. Pray for your group. If you want to leave a prayer request, I'm open to it. I'll add you to my list. So with that, it's Raven Tactical out.